KBLA Talk 1580.
Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
You ready?
Come on! It's the Queen of Royal Badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you all Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on that ride home or already at home or wherever you are. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. I see you all joining me right now over in our YouTube. And if you're listening to us on the radio or on the app, perhaps, maybe you want to go over to our YouTube as well and join us, our community that's over here at KBLA 1580. Well, first of all, let me acknowledge the song. That is a jam, Andy. Thank you so much. But did you do that because it's Christmas or because I'm wearing green? What's up? I mean, I'm reminding you of the holidays.
Nah, because it's Christmas time.
Okay, all right.
But I see the correlation.
Okay, all right. You see where I'm going with this.
I see where you're going with
it. Okay. Either way, I'll take it. I like the song anyway. We are definitely making our way into this Christmas holiday season. It feels so good, and it's one of my favorite It is my favorite holiday, and I want it to last longer actually than just a month. I don't know. That's me and how I roll. But anyway, I'd like to give a special shout out to Keith Underwood. Keith Underwood held it down on the Raw Report for 2 whole days on the show. Thank you so much to Keith. As you all know, he has his Black in the Green Room show here on KBLA as well. So you guys definitely need to check him out too. And so thank you guys for joining Keith and Whitley J. Yates as well as TK Trinidad. They were here as well. So shout out to all of you guys for keeping the momentum going, keeping the ball rolling. Definitely appreciate that. Happy to be back with you guys. And we have a great show, as we always do. I'm excited to have this conversation. And, of course, if you'd like to join in, you can call at any point in time if you want to, throw in your opinion, your knowledge, or just say hello. You can do that as well. The number is 1-800-920-1580. You can also leave a message, as many of you do. And I hope you know that I personally listen to these messages. And that's on our open mic feature on our app, which is pretty cool. You'll see that down at the bottom. You can leave a message. You can leave your name or not, and just, chime in on whatever subject you'd like to. But just let us know who you're calling for, as a matter of fact, because sometimes y'all be calling in the middle of a show and you're like, wait, whose show? Wait, what you talking about? So you have to let us know. That would be kind of cool as well. We have a couple of updates. Let's see. Do y'all have any idea what is going on in the entertainment industry? Of course you don't, because you're getting it here on the Rob Report. But I'm sure you've heard about this. Diddy, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Brother Love, has been hit with yet another sexual assault lawsuit. This is unreal. I mean, he put out a statement, I'm sure written by a member of his team. He says enough is enough. I mean, they have had enough of these allegations that are coming out left and right. As you all know, we've talked about it extensively on this show, that the Adult Survivors Act, that is a New York act, it lifted the statute of limitation for any type of assault for these adults, at however far you want to go back. And it allowed for victims of assault to, have these lawsuits against, their assailants or alleged assailants. And Diddy has now been hit with another one. The difference is this lady here, she's going by Jane Doe, but she is pulling out receipts, y'all. She has receipts. She's got pictures with this guy. And it's just not looking good. It's not looking good. We don't know where all of this is going to go. But from what we hear, she has hired the same attorneys as Cassie's attorneys. And we all know how that turned out. We're going to get into a little bit of that because that's going to play into the Rob Report today. Sadly, we do have to say rest in peace to Forrest Whitaker's ex-wife, Keisha Whitaker. She's passed away at the age of 51. Really, really sad. We don't know from what yet, but we also have to say rest in peace to Norman Lear. If you all know, iconic screenwriter, director, producer of some of your favorite shows from the past. So definitely rest in peace, and sending our condolences to their friends, their families, and their fans alike as well. Shall we get into the Rob Report? Go ahead. Let's do it, Andy.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Well, this one, I told you, it's going to play into the Raw Report. We talked about Diddy, and now we are going to talk about Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons was the Diddy of 2017 and several years ago, where all of these allegations were coming out against him. And there was no act, by the way. There was no Adult Survivors Act. These are just women who were coming out against Russell Simmons, and he's now talking about it. He moved away out of the country. There was a lot that had happened to Russell Simmons, but in his mind, this is important, because although I am not giving a way out for anyone who actually committed a crime. I refuse to give a way out for this, but I want to be fair and look at this and spread it out on the table. Let's look at this. In Russell Simmons' mind, he says he took 9 lie detector tests. In his mind, does he believe that he is an innocent man and that his life has been ruined from all of these allegations? This is not what the women say. All the alleged victims. This is not what they say, but they claim that he actually assaulted them. He says he took 9 lie detector tests to prove his innocence. We're going to get into that, of course. We are also going to talk about Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, I have a love-hate relationship. It's not hate, actually. I don't hate the man at all. I have nothing but love in my heart, as you know. But Stephen A. Smith is rating women. He says he wants a strong 7 as a woman. Well, why not a 10? He doesn't want a perfect 10, nor does he want a 9 or 8. We'll get into why he wants a 7. And is that fair? Because you know what? Women, we could look at that and have all kind of problems with the fact that this man is judging us, but do we do that as well? We're going to talk about it on the other side, of course, with a great contributor who we have on the line with us. We're going to get to all of it and more on the other side. You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger hanging out right here with my family at the Raw Report. Keep it locked.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
On your period, sudden gushes happen without warning. But now, you can say goodbye to stand-up gush fears thanks to Always Ultra Thins with rapid dry technology. It absorbs gushes 2 times faster than the leading store brand and gives you up to 100% leak-free protection. Hello, clean and comfortable with Always Fear No Gush.
You've heard the buzz about IT and cybersecurity and AI, right? Why not prepare for a career in these fields and take advantage of the high demand? You could enjoy a more rewarding and recession-resistant lifestyle. Just train in a few short months at My Computer Career, no experience necessary. Already in IT? Skill up for positions employers need to fill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Rob Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, before we get started, I got a couple of very important things. Number one, happy birthday, Penny Thompson, who's in our chat right now. That is my beautiful aunt. Who's always here holding it down. She is a founding member, by the way, of the the Raw Report community. Shout out to Penny Thompson. I hope you are having a beautiful, beautiful birthday. Everybody, make sure you send her much, much love. Andy?
Happy birthday, Miss Penny. You know, you just described, well, you didn't describe, but you said the Raw Report community. I think you need a name now. For the Raw Report community. So you know how Beyonce has her Beehive, Taylor Swift have the Swifties.
Yep.
What are you going to call the Raw Report community?
That is a great question. We will leave that up for the for our community to answer. Thank you for that, Andy. And I'm not mad at it. Hey, if y'all come up with something cool and clever, let me know. I love it. I love the idea. So that's first and foremost. But before we introduce our contributor, I do have okay. Well, so far there's only a few people on board with this. But the question is, would you allow your child to curse? Your minor, I want to know if you have a minor or a grandkid or a kid or whatever, would you let your minor curse only while playing video games as a way to express themselves? Not curse at you, not curse at anybody else, but curse at the television or curse because they're mad at the play or whatever on a video game as a way of expression. This comes because there's a woman, Ari Fletcher, who says, She says she lets her kid curse while he's playing video games because, it's not that serious, and she lets him express himself. I don't know. I don't know if I'm really one to I'm past that stage. We're not, I'm past that stage. But I also did not let my children curse. But I will say this, when they've gotten older, I'm like, you feel like you want to say something, say the word. Say the word if you feel like you want to say it. So there are instances, I'll go ahead and maybe give a pass. But let's go ahead and get to our contributor, who I want to ask this question as well, because he has a young child, and I'm sure he will answer this question for us. Please welcome Avi Bernard to the Raw Report. Hey, Avi, good to hear from you.
Hey, Robin, always good to talk to you. And just a quick note on the potential nickname for the Raw Report audience. I think you have a great nickname, Rah Rah. So I think they should be called the Rah Rahs. But that's just my 2 cents. We can think about this. We can workshop this. There's no bad ideas in the brainstorm.
Right.
I'm just saying it's a possibility.
No, there are no bad ideas. There are only ideas. Okay, so if y'all like the rah-rahs, let me know. I appreciate that, Avi. Thank you so much. Now, I do have this question. I need you to answer because you have a young child, and your child at some point, he's going to be playing video games and things like that. Would you allow your kid to curse only while playing video games, not towards anyone or anything like that, as a way of expression?
No. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Come on and preach now.
So if you go hard, if you do things a certain way, if you go all out, you're going to do things in that way. If you do things sloppily, you're going to do everything that way. So it's absolutely not. It's a hard no for me. Obviously, my son is just 2, so I can't even imagine him cursing right now. But, I think once he gets to a certain age, then the conversation will change, as you said. He gets closer to adulthood.
Okay, closer
mid
to adulthood. Okay. I'm trying to place it, Avi. I'm trying to place it closer to. What are we talking about here? You gonna let him start popping off?
It for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna define it for you. So you get to adulthood is technically 18. And so when you get to your mid to late teens, if you start to say something a little bit more rambunctious, I'm not going to say it's okay, and especially it will depend on who's in your company. But I'm just saying the closer you get to adulthood, the more you get treated like an adult. And I would just say I coached middle schoolers, and that's age 11 to 13. They are like sailors. All right? They curse more than anybody.
Yes.
That's like being at the worst bar in any city. If you go to a middle school and hang out with a bunch of little boys, I mean, nobody curse more than them. So you got to be aware of these things too, and who they're around, and the stuff that they're taking in.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think that middle school, that age there, is when you're really just trying to figure out who you are, what your boundaries are, what you can cross, and so you hear a lot of kids in middle school really start to go for it. Deborah Chacoa says children need to learn self-control. I definitely agree with that. Keith Burks says, heck no, curse in your own house. Kids have too much freedom and not paying for ish. Andy.
They gonna curse regardless.
So you say let them curse around you because they're going to do it regardless. It's an interesting topic. It's a very interesting, and I could argue either way.
Ideally, I wouldn't want them to curse in front of me, but I just think that the reality is that they're still going to curse. Once they go to school, they're going to be cussing with their friends. I mean, they could be cussing in their room with the doors closed. What, you gonna be mad because you walking by your son or your daughter's room and you hear them cuss? I don't know.
Okay, all right, Avi, it's on you.
So listen. So as one of the listeners very aptly stated, you have to have self-control. So yes, they're gonna curse at some points, but they need to know when they can and when they can't. They can't be in a meeting with a high school administrator in the principal's office or something and be cursing. They can't be with their friends hanging out and not be aware of their surroundings, not be aware of who's around them and be cursing. So they have to, of course they're going to use that language from time to time, but they need to know that they can't use it all the time, and they need to be in control of when they use it. So
okay.
if they are going to use it, they can't just be flippant with it.
I hear the point. This is the last thing I'll say, and then we'll move on. Right now, 78% of people say no. You will not allow your child to curse while playing video games. I get that. Here's the thing. This is why I said I can argue both points. I won't necessarily curse in front of my mom. I'm not a sailor at the mouth anyway. But if I need to emphasize something, like if I need to, go. I mean, I'm a grown woman though. So my mom, she's not gonna say nothing. But I'm just saying, if I need to go around my family and I'm telling a story, and the story really requires for me to go there, I'm gonna let off at the mouth, and they all understand that. However, pertaining to my children, again, I won't they will not be able to just freely curse in front of me, in front of us. That's just not appropriate behavior. However, if there's a point that they want to make and I'm like, oh, you want to emphasize something, go ahead and say it. That's all, that's how I feel about it. Go ahead and let one off. Go ahead and pop one off, just go ahead and say it. I know you're standing outside the house anyway. That's all I'm saying. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on while we have some time with Avi Bernard, because Avi, you are great to talk to. I want to have this conversation with you. Russell Simmons, as we know, had been really, earlier I called him the Diddy of 2017, meaning that women left and right were accusing him of sexual assault. And he's spoken on this many times. And there have been people who ended partnerships with him, brand deals that had ended with him, all kinds of things in which he says his life has now been ruined. He's been heavily affected by this. He's moved out of the country. He's moved to Bali. He has problems with his entire family. And so he had been away and quiet for quite some time. But recently he did an interview where he's bringing this up right now. He's bringing this up, and this is the time. This is obviously the time. And he's addressing it right now, saying that he has had he's had 9 lie detector tests. Let's listen to Russell Simmons in his own words describe, his feelings about the matter.
Sick and sad and from an insecurity that feeds it, and a lot of reasons why we were that way. If you slept with as many people as I slept with, thousands, and we're talking about 6 people.
There were like 20, right? I mean,
I spoke
poorly.
You mean
rape
that's not, no. Yeah. I spoke poorly to 15 of them. I mean, 12 of them. I spoke poorly all the time. I'm a Def Comedy Jam guy. I was crude. So how many compromising situations was I in? And if you call that person and say, can you help me help these other women, then you can get them to tell a story and reimagine a story. And I'm not here to say what they were thinking, but I can simply tell you that I was in so many compromising situations that people can have a recollection from 30 or 40 years ago. And it can be different.
The interview does go on. He goes on to mention that, again, like I mentioned, he's had several lie detector tests trying to prove his innocence. But Avi, here's the interesting question, and I posed this earlier. This is definitely not to give him an out or anybody else for that matter, but I'm looking at this thing as a whole. In his mind, in Russell Simmons' mind, he says, sure, I was crude. I was, he does not shy away from the fact that he was that kind of guy. He says he was a Def Comedy kind of dude, Def Poetry kind of guy. He was, he probably talked nasty to some of these women. But what he's saying is, even in all of that, he was not, he had not assaulted anyone. And he even posed the question, could it be that some of these women were hurt after leaving our sessions together? Maybe they were upset or hurt about something, and they could go and place phone calls to other women and try to get them on board. In his mind, he almost seems like he feels that he's an innocent man. He feels that maybe I spoke poorly to them, but I certainly didn't assault them. Give me your thoughts about this whole. It's hard to kind of wrap our minds around, Avi, and I know we're taking a big sip of this big cup here, but give me your thoughts as to that, because again, in all fairness, obviously these women, a lot of women had come out, but we're trying to look at things from Russell Simmons' point of view here. He's just saying, listen, I tried to prove my innocence by 9 lie detector tests. What could I do here? Give me your thoughts on this, Avi.
Okay, so firstly, this is someone I interviewed maybe 10 or 12 years ago. It wasn't about this.
Sure.
This was just a regular interview. This was long before these accusations came out, and just listening to what he's saying, I gotta say, I can't really go with him on that. It's. Yeah, he's saying, I had sex with thousands of women and only 6 of them have come out and said that. Well, I can't be on board with that. I mean, it's six is a lot when you're talking about something like accusations of sexual assault. 6 is a lot. And I don't believe that these women were just unhappy with their experience with you and then they went ahead and claimed that you sexually assaulted them. And you can talk about, and I know we're up against the break, so we'll have to get into this more afterwards. But I would just say the lie detector aspect of it. Lie detectors are not admissible in court for a reason, and you can be someone who lies and you can still pass a lie detector test. You can be lying about the subject of the lie detector test and still pass the lie detector test. It's about how you take the test and the tone of voice, and so. Yeah, that's we can get more into it after the break, but it's going to be a no. It's going to be a no for me, dog.
Okay, come on and do my job for me. He talk about we'll do more after. Come on, host Avi Bernard, Mr. Bernard. Well, when we come forward, I do actually want to ask you, and I want to dig into this a little bit more. The fact that whether convicted or not, is it enough, the mere fact that you have been accused by multiple women, is that enough to have all these partnerships pull out and your life essentially ruined, like he says? We'll talk more about this on the other side, of course. Right now, though, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, BB, and you're listening to me on The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
We wish you a holiday season filled with peace and love and a new year rich with blessings. Mask up and stay safe. From all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
People making lists, buying special gifts.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The House is censoring New York Democrat Jamal Bowman for pulling a fire alarm ahead of a big vote. He pulled the alarm in a congressional building during a vote to fund the government back in September. Republicans accused the Democrat of trying to delay the vote on the spending bill, while he claims he pulled the alarm thinking it would open a locked door in the building. Bowman, who is black, pleaded guilty to 1 count of falsely pulling a fire alarm and was ordered to pay a $1,000 fine. Dane County, Wisconsin is looking to no longer charge unwed fathers for past due costs of the births of their children. The county's new budget includes a proposal to ask the state to no longer collect Medicaid debt from fathers from before 2020. Advocates say those collections unfairly hurt Black, Brown, and Indigenous communities. Dane County stopped collecting childbirth costs in 2020, but only after recouping $2 million. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Over in West Covina, a crash is currently in the carpool and left lane of the 10 West before Holt Avenue, and right now stop traffic is from Fairplex Drive up to 40 minutes. Drive carefully through Diamond Bar as a big rig involved accident remains on the right shoulder of the 60 West before the 57 Orange Freeway. Heavy delays continue from Grand Avenue. In Anaheim Hills on the 91 East before Highway 241, heavy traffic flow from Tustin Avenue is over 20 minutes as an accident remains on the right shoulder. And in Long Beach, right lane is currently blocked with an accident on the 405 North before the 710.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. Visit jpmorganchase.com/racial equity and get the tools to help reach your financial goals.
They're playing cha-chingle bells at Jackson Hewitt starting December 11th. Get a holiday loan for up to $1,000. Visit jacksonhewitt.com. Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
From the very stupid department, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is thinking about asking Florida legislators for $1 million to help file a lawsuit against the NCAA. DeSantis is upset that undefeated Florida State was not selected among the 4 schools for the college football playoffs. The committee chose Michigan, Alabama, Texas, and Washington. There are tons of better reasons for DeSantis to use $1 million in his state. He can start by increasing resources for African American studies in Florida schools. That would be a far more worthy game plan for DeSantis. The NBA offered a pretty nice incentive to players to be excited about the in-season tournament. The team that wins the title, each player gets $500,000. That takes holiday bonuses to a whole new level. The championship game is Saturday night in Vegas. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
Celebrate Southern California's health equity heroes at California Black Health Network's 40th anniversary event at Hotel Indigo's 18 Social, Thursday, December 7th, 6 to 9 p.m. Join us as we celebrate 40 years of advancing health equity for Black Californians and honor local organizations like Black Women for Wellness, the California Black Women's Health Project, Riverside County PEI, and the African American Infant and Maternal Mortality Project, December 7th. Buy your tickets now at cablackhealthnetwork.org.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Get ready for holiday feast season with Pepto-Bismol.
Uncle Derek's here with his famous fried turkey. Hey, Aunt Mary brought the mac and cheese. Donna's here with the potato salad.
Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief for unexpected stomach upsets. So enjoy the holidays. Pepto has you covered, no matter who made the potato salad.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hello? What's your only girl? You're all I think about. You're the only girl for me. You're all I think about. You're special. Know I love you. Know I love you. You say you love me, and I think that is true. But every night my girlfriend tells me I should watch you.
You are inside The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Hey. Shout out to Miss Cholet. If you remember, we had our interview with Miss Cholet on this show. And people still couldn't believe that is her actual voice. Beautiful, beautiful voice, beautiful woman. If you're just joining in, well, come on and tap in with us. We are having a great conversation right now regarding Russell Simmons and the fact that he says he took 9 lie detector tests to prove his innocence when all of these sexual assault allegations had come out from multiple women. When we, on the other side, we're speaking with our contributor, Avi Bernard, and he was mentioning his interview with this man. And, it's interesting, Avi, that you talked about that, because I also had an interview with Russell Simmons that I felt was great. I felt like it was just iconic at the moment. And then when all of these things happened, I almost felt the need to take them down or, be a little afraid of posting them and what would people say. I can't lie. I did go through that. So I can only imagine what brands will feel, what companies feel, people who have partnerships with this man and any man like him, such as Diddy. So I'm going to ask that inside of the poll. Should Robin and Avi still post interviews with RS based on the allegations? Yes, because he's still an icon, or no, it's a bad look and you need to separate yourself. I want to know what you guys think about that. Avi, give me your thoughts on that. I know that you said you interviewed him. Is that something, how do you feel about, the interview in the past? Is that something that you would still repost as like a throwback Thursday or include it in your reel or something like that?
I probably wouldn't. I mean, if you're talking about a reel that you mean like that you post on IG, or a reel that you use to kind of get a job?
Who knows?
Because if you're talking about a reel that you use to get a job, I'm absolutely going to include that, so that they can see that you interview people like that. But no, I mean, I don't even know where that footage is, honestly. So I can't post it if I wanted to. But I would say, I mean, if I had it posted already, I wouldn't take it down, just because, especially if it's from, I think there is still a picture of me and him on my IG from many years ago. But it's just, it's people look at the date on things, and it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's necessary to take stuff like that down. But I'm probably not going to be posting, oh, look at this time I talked to him about, unless it's pertaining to the subject, then nah.
Okay, fair enough. Andy?
We might as well erase history.
What do you mean? Break that down.
Just, with all the shenanigans that our forefathers, no matter what platform, whether it's entertainment, politics, community work or whatnot, just thinking about how life was back in the days. There's a lot of things, obviously, in 2023 going on 2024 that we're pushing back on. So when we're, reverting or, thinking about one's life and their past and all the discrepancies that they've had, we're canceling them now. And it just got me thinking, like, not just Russell Simmons, man. It was a lot of bad people during the old times. And I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking, like, man, it just seems as if, like, might as well just erase history.
What's sad, and to that point, what's really sad about this is I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about Diddy and how she was just like, man, this is just another black man, prominent black man who's being, sort of ruined. Everything that he's done, he has an iconic sort of, career and legacy, and it's being ruined. And on one hand, for sure, you look at all of these men who had recently been named. That's just a few, right, of all the ones in the history. But when you just look at, again, we're in 2023, you look at all these different men who are being called out, and yes, they are black prominent men. However, if they've done it, then they've done it. And people need to own up, and people need to be held accountable for what they've done. But do you see it that way, as like a shame that, some of these men, a lot of these black men are being taken down, whether so that's the point that I was getting to on the other side. Like, is it just enough that you've been accused multiple times, or should you have to be convicted? Should you have to be, tried in court and convicted in order for, your reputation to be ruined? Or is it just enough, the fact that people have come out and accused you?
Well, it's a really tough conversation to have. I think it's a case-by-case basis. I think the more allegations against you, it's hard to believe that you weren't engaging in something unethical or just plain wrong. It's hard to imagine that many women coming forward falsely and making claims against you. And so I'm not saying that anytime a woman makes a claim against someone that man should be ruined forever. They should be canceled, because we have seen cases like in the case of Brian Banks, who was a high school football player in this city, in this region, in Long Beach, and he lost his NFL career because a woman lied on him, and she later came forward and admitted that she lied. And so that can happen. But if you're talking about multiple women coming forward, giving similar accounts of things, I don't think that they would collude and get on the phone or have a group chat saying, hey, let's all do this to Russell, or let's all do this to anybody. I just don't think that's going to happen. So I do think that we have to take every claim seriously. And the thing, though, is, as we've talked about before, when you're a woman and you're making a claim against someone, you're already taking a lot of personal risk. And most sexual assaults, they go unreported because of that, and because women have to be really brave to do it, and it's not something that's easy to do, because they're at risk of being called a liar. You're making this up. You're trying to get attention, or of further violence from the person who they're accusing. So it's a very tough situation, and I just think we have to take every one of these individuals at a case-by-case basis and look at the totality of the allegations and where the facts lie.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. I really feel bad for the women who come out in these cases, because no matter what, and that's why a lot of these women, by the way, don't even want to be identified. They're trying to go as and file as Jane Doe. And even the woman who came out, who has pictures with Diddy's, she's sitting on his lap, and you see her in his office with the letter P and D, and she's proudly, pointing to it. And from what we understand, she had been flown from Detroit to New York in order to have this meeting with Diddy after Harve Pierre complimented her and a friend. They saw her out, and they were personally invited. And even though she was underage, here's going to be the situation. She says she goes over there and was gang raped. She says Diddy and 2 or 3 other men had gang raped her. And here's the situation. People are going to look at her and say, here's a photo of you. Her face is blurred out, by the way, but here is a photo of you sitting on this man's lap. You up and picked up from one state to another state. You're proudly representing the fact that you were there with Diddy. And so you know what was going to go down. You knew what was going to happen, or you should have at least expected it to, one way or the other. She is going to be blamed no matter what. That is the unfortunate part about these women, and why I am not mad at the fact that they want to stay with their identities concealed, because you're going to get blamed. Even if you prove, here's the crazy part about it. Even if you prove somehow, some way, you pull out receipts, you had gone to the hospital the next day, and you got rape kits, and you got whatever it is that you needed for proof, they are still going to blame you. That's the crazy thing about it. Like, Avi, that's the part that I cannot wrap my mind around. And so this thing is very tricky, because you do have women who lie, point blank and period. You have women who lie, but you have so many women who are telling the truth in matters like this. And so when it comes to Russell Simmons, I was just bringing this conversation up really to try to dissect it from his point of view, that maybe in his mind, just maybe in his mind, he truly believes that while he may have been crude in his word, and while he may have been intimidating or rude and nasty to some of these women, in his mind, he absolutely is innocent. And he says that he's taken these tests to prove it. So it's just very tricky to the end of time. This is going to be one of those questions, something that kind of comes up. But on a different note, same note, but a little bit different. This is an act that New York, the governor of New York had signed into the New York state. Do you feel like other states are going to pick something like this up And like California, for instance, will we have our own version of an Adult Survivors Act, or Florida or Texas or anything like that? And if so, I mean, are we witnessing the beginning of this sort of like demantling of these icons, these Black male icons?
I mean, it's a good question. It's an important question. I skipped my my law school exam, so I'm not sure I can answer it to the most accurate in the most accurate way possible. But I would just say, in my opinion, I don't think there should be a statute of limitations, especially on things like this. I mean, if someone did something and it can be proven, then they should be held accountable, and that's kind of where it ends for me.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Definitely fair. California already has it, Keith Burks says. I hear that. I mean, I definitely hear that. It almost seems as though other states are going to start to do something like this to give a fair chance for women, because the way that they say that the laws are written currently, they protect the abuser. Alleged abusers, this is what they say. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see, because you know, I've heard from a little birdie or two that there's going to be a lot more things happening in the entertainment business as a whole. I mean, obviously we're seeing RICO cases. We're seeing Fat Joe saying he was lying on his raps. We're seeing all kinds of things. And so we don't know what's going to be happening, but I don't know. I guess we're just going to keep our eyes out, Avi. But you should know that 67% of our YouTube pollers say that we should still be posting our Russell Simmons interviews. Okay, they say he's still an icon, no matter what. He still has done what he's done. He's still you cannot take away what Russell Simmons has done in the hip hop industry, nor can you take away anything else from a lot of these other men, as a matter of fact. So just letting you know, they think we should still go ahead and represent Avi.
Understood. You know, and if y'all got interviews out there, go ahead and post them. I'm gonna go ahead and not look for my footage, and if I find it, I'm gonna go ahead and not post it.
Fair enough. That is fair enough. By the way, you got to give me really quickly before we let you go. You got to let me know what you think about the Raw Squad. Somebody. They raised you. They took your what did you say? The rah squad. They took the rah. They raised you.
The rah.
Yes, I think that came from Lavelle Delone, and he raised you the Raw Squad. What do you think about that?
I like the Raw Squad. I think we might be onto something with that. I'm not sure if I like it better than the rah-rahs, but I think it's a possibility. You know, I'm gonna have to go ahead and go with me on this one, but I do think that the Raw Squad is not bad.
You trying to hold it down, Andy?
I love it, and if we could find some way to get Nick Cannon to go ahead and drop, you know what I'm saying, a little bar, and just be like, it's time for the Raw Squad.
Oh, you know what? I got some connections. We'll see if we can make that happen. I don't know. It's gonna cost me a lot though.
Hey, listen, y'all.
Yeah.
Nick is busy. Nick is busy. He's busy. He's got people to impregnate. All right, he's got things to do.
He's taking care of them 12 kids. Okay, well, listen, Avi, thank you so much. We didn't get around to talking about our Stephen A. Smith, but maybe we'll do that another time. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Raw Report with the Raw Squad. Oh, that's the first time I said it. We appreciate you.
That is banging though.
Yeah, it is. It's got a little ring to it. Where can everybody find you online?
Oh, yeah, and just real quickly, that Stephen A. Smith topic is evergreen. We can get to that anytime. If you're ever short on topics, that's something we can always talk about. But you can find me here on Fridays, 4 to 6 p.m., right here on KBLA Talk 1580, or at Avi Bernard on Instagram. Thanks, Robin. Always so much fun to talk to you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. All right. Well, when we come forward, I have a really great song that I want to play for you guys. This girl has definitely got next. We'll get to that on the other side on KBLA Talk 1580.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on the Raw Report.
More of the Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
Escalade IQ. This the intro to the all-electric Cadillac perfection like Zoom. And on a full charge, you get 450 miles without the stop haiku. This is what I do. Daddy fat in the Lex since 92. Linked all the way back, panoramic roof. Come with 24-inch rim standard. Ooh, why? Shawty don't kill him. Cadillac diamond in the back, cold chillin'. And when I'm on attack, on the track is no ceiling. Sky's the limit. You hear me? You hear me? Straight drop, no parachutes. Lay lines like a longitude and latitude. Feel it, beloved, clearly we're hustling. Bustin', truckin'. Cadillac, Cadillac, Cadillac.
For more on the Escalade IQ, visit Cadillac.com.
Available late 2024. GM estimate 450-mile range on a full charge based on development testing and/or analytical projection consistent with the CHA 1634 revision 2017 MCT. Range subject to change prior to production. Annual rates may vary based on service factors, including ambience temperature, terrain, battery age, and condition loading, and how you use and maintain your vehicle.
Today, young adults face big questions about their future. How will you make your mark? Do you want to be part of something bigger than yourself? Are you ready to learn new skills and make new friendships? Perhaps you have a dream that you're ready to make real. So, how will you make a mark with your future? As you embark on a journey toward finding these answers, the military can serve as a resource for providing help, information, and opportunities. A public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit today'smilitary.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Can't you just see the smile on her face over the radio right now? Let's get back to more of the Rob Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, this woman blew me away. I found her online, and she's fantastic. Her name is Ayanna Lee, and she just dropped this song. Let's go ahead and take a listen to it.
My idols lie to me on my own TV screen. I packed my bags, followed that path. I lost it all and I got nothing back. And turns out Hollywood's bloody, the famous are ugly. No Photoshop on this soul. I wanted the truth, but now I'm burning bruised. I'm facing all this soon, saying I'm sorry, but no, you're not sorry. Saying you're sorry, but if sorry is all that you got, then fuck you a lot.
That is Ayanna Lee. Wow. It's called My Idols Lied to Me. Did I say that right? My Idols Lied to Me. The girl's she's got skills. That is Ayanna Lee. You guys tell me. It seems like y'all agree inside of our YouTube poll that the Raw Squad is certified. Is that what it is? Are we feeling it? Okay, so far we got 100% on board with us. You guys say that you like it. I got to give a major shout out to Lavelle DeLone. Andy?
I say give it maybe by the end of the year. If anybody has any other suggestions for a nickname. But as of right now, the Raw Squad is winning.
The Raw Squad is winning. This is what Andy says. I mean, you know, I have a tendency to lean in to it when Andy says it, but I definitely think that the Raw Squad is gonna go hard. I mean, it rolls off the tongue. You know, it sounds good even. So yeah, definitely, I'm feeling that. Thank you again to Lavelle, and like Andy said, if there is something that you guys want to go ahead and chime in by the end of the year. Oh wait, we are at the end of the year. What do we mean? I felt like we had a few more months to go, Andy. Huh? No, wait. I don't know what now.
We got a couple more weeks.
We have a couple more. Okay, he's saying. Okay, Lavelle says that's fair enough. He said fair enough. All right. Okay, listen. There are shows and movies and wonderful things coming out. You guys definitely check out The Color Purple. I hear it is absolutely fantastic. They had their world premiere here in LA just the other night. It seems to be having rave reviews, and I like that. I like that a lot because I'm going to go watch The Color Purple. But I do want you guys to check out, you got some time for this one. This one's coming in February the 2nd, as a matter of fact. Donald Glover's new film is called Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I think it's the same as the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I feel like it's a take on that. Donald Glover is he's starring in the movie. It's going to be coming on Amazon. And I'm a fan of Donald Glover, so I think this one is going to be pretty awesome. So, you know, we'll talk about it again. Of course, we're going to talk about it again. Thomas Outlaw, he's trying to come for you. He said, raw dogs. No, I don't know if that one hits, though. But I love the enthusiasm, Thomas. I love the enthusiasm. The raw dogs. I love it. But the Raw Squad, it's something about the Raw Squad. You know, when you say it just come off. Okay, all right. You guys, I appreciate you guys joining me. It's so good to be back here tonight. We're going to do it again tomorrow night. You already know. But right now, the voice of reason, Zoe Williams, is coming up next. So you definitely don't want to change the dial. I'm so happy to come back again tomorrow with you guys, and we'll have another fire show like we always do. Remember, I am Robin Ayers, and today and every day forward, be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The College Board is revising the framework for its Advanced Placement African American Studies course months after it became the target of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and other state officials. AP courses help high school students earn college credit, but the African American Studies course was accused by critics of trying to politically